Hey, everybody. Welcome to I Hate Music. This is episode... Do you know what it is, Nick? What episode number?
111.
Yeah. Oh, I
see your email. Yeah.
I put it in the email. Fuck. Okay. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I cheated.
You cheated. Episode 111. Yeah. This is going to be a little short episode. I thought it would be interesting from time to time to visit older tracks that Nick and I have done, or even maybe other people have done. Like little known things, demos, outtakes, rehearsals, things like that. Just kind of visit them and talk about them a little bit. And I have a track that I did under the name of Nothing from, when was this? 98? I think this was...
What was the history with the band? Was this a solo thing that you're doing? Or?
Yep. So Nothing, I want to say Nothing started in 97. Just me. My first release was a split cassette with Cascadian Legends Windham Hell.
Nice.
And we did, I think, 2 tracks each for that cassette, released by Vivid Dreams Records in 97. And it was a way for me, I mean, my whole career at this point, I was in bands, but I was moving around a lot at this point in time.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to record and write stuff on my own. So I started Nothing. I released a lot of records with Nothing. I want to say like 4 or 5, a bunch of EPs, a bunch of singles. And this was just a single that I wrote. I think I actually recorded and wrote this in 97, but it wasn't released until June of 98.
Do you remember what kind of equipment you were using? Like, what was your setup for this?
I do. I recorded this in Vancouver, Washington. Had a shitty little room in a house there, and I used a 4-track, and I had a Yamaha PS510 keyboard and a microphone, and that's it.
Nice, dude. Wow, amazing. So all these keyboard sounds were from that keyboard specifically?
Yep.
Yamaha?
It's the only keyboard I had. It's the keyboard I used on the Grey Subaudible. It's the keyboard I used on all the Especially Likely Sloth stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's what I used on the Remember, Susurrus Annonis. It was a giant keyboard, like, I don't know, 3 feet long or so. It was kind of a nightmare, but it allowed me to do things in its sequencer that were so strange. It lent itself to things like this and the Sloth material. And a lot of the percussion on the Nothing record, the Grey Subaudible, is like a lot of that was programmed in this keyboard. It just had this really great sequencer, and it allowed me to modify the sounds a ton. And so I came up with really crazy stuff just by like playing with it.
Interesting. Like the equipment led you down a path that you necessarily maybe wouldn't have gone down. Yeah.
For sure. Cool. So this piece is really piano heavy. It makes it sound like I'm a really good pianist, but what I was really good at is sequencing and layering. And this track it's interesting. It's one of my favorite like non-album tracks that I did as Nothing.
Oh, that's cool.
It's called
What made you think of it recently? What were you...
just because I thought about doing this and just kind of diving into like a track. And this one is just, like I said, one of my favorites that's not on a record.
Nice.
It was on a sampler from Root of All Evil Records in 98 called Roots 2. And Root of All Evil Records was a long-running record label out of Minneapolis, headed up by Earl Root, rest in peace. And he released a lot of like local Minneapolis stuff. A lot of it was pretty janky, I thought. Like, the quality was not great with a lot of those bands, but he and I were friends, and he put this track on there. And I don't know, there's something about this track. It's definitely a time and a place thing for me. Yeah. I listened to it. I mean, I haven't heard it. I haven't listened to this in years, so I'm not really sure what to expect anymore. But last time I listened to it, I remember being happy with certain parts and really cringed out by other parts.
Nice.
You will hear...
I think that would be pretty similar to anything we listen to that's old like this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, gosh.
You will hear Don Anderson singing.
Oh, sweet.
He sings in a very strange kind of falsetto tone. It's odd. I kind of love it, and it's kind of cringy. There's a lot of samples. There's a lot of keyboard and noise stuff. It's an interesting track. So
did you make this specifically for this compilation, or was it? Were you thinking it was going to be part of an album or something?
I was hoping to do a record. Let me look. I think this was. I have to look. Yeah. So the debut Nothing album came out in '99, and this was '98. So it was basically me just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with Nothing and like how to. I mean, I did the thing with Windham Hell, but this was like the first. I was trying to do more than what I did on the split with Windham Hell. I was just trying to figure out like what I wanted to do with this band and how I wanted to do it. And like I said, I only had like this keyboard with a sequencer and a 4-track. So
amazing. It's like it's a good example of like not having a lot of equipment, but being able to put out music because your heart is so full. You know, you needed to get it out there.
Well, I wasn't at the time. I wasn't really doing a lot. I was, like I said, living in Vancouver, Washington, in this shitty little room. I was working at Kinko's. I think like it's the same year that we did Agalox Promo 98. Mm-hmm. We're working on the second sculptured record, Apollo Ends. I didn't really know anybody except for John and Don. They were really my only friends, except for a couple people like Michael Smith. But, you know, I'd see them on the weekends, but weekdays I was working at Kinko's and I would come home and I would just fuck around on my 4-track. And that's how, you know, stuff like this came to be.
So cool.
So let's listen to it and then talk a little bit about your impressions and my recollections from hearing it for the first time in years and a little context on the parts and the samples and things like that.
This is great, dude. This is a great idea, and I'm excited to listen to this.
I think it's going to be a fun idea. Anybody that wants to listen to it outside of the podcast, it is on my Bandcamp. It's jwalton.bandcamp.com. The song is called Drowning in Rain. It's by my old project Nothing that I ended up retiring because of the Relapse band.
Were you the first Nothing to exist, you think? Or
as far as I know.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, probably not the very first in the entire world, but at least in like these genres, subgenres. There was a local band called Nothing when I moved to Portland.
Oh, really? Wow.
But they didn't do very much. But yeah, there's a band on Relapse in like the mid 2000s or so that got pretty popular.
This. Yeah.
And I, honestly, I was kind of done with it too. I kind of accomplished what I wanted to with it and went as far as I wanted to with it, and got to a point where the last record I was happy with it, but Nothing's best days were in the beginning. Nothing's Grace Abominable is one of my finest moments, I think, to this day. So
nice.
So anyway, let's listen to this. It's Drowning in Rain by Nothing. Here we go.
All the words I wish your fingers could feel. All the times I've wished you could know the silent sorrow lying stiff in my throat like cold and broken teeth. I wish you could hear the child. The days are I guess what I wanted was to know. I am not loving in vain.
Wow.
Nice. Wow. That was cool, dude.
So many memories with that shit. Wow.
Well, I heard all kinds of weird things. Definitely great piano work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heard lots of samples that I'm curious about. I think I heard a car accident at one point. Sounded like it.
Oh man, yeah.
And the layered vocals, those are interesting too, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So
you did a lot with that 4-track. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I spent so many years working on Especially Likely Sloth, and that was all 4-track, you know. So and that shit is just bonkers if you haven't, you know, if people haven't heard that, but it's layers and layers and start and stop and all this. But I was a wizard at the 4-track for sure.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, listening to that, like the higher vocals, those are all Don. I was doing the whispering and the kind of like monotonous, like monotone vocals. I'd forgotten about entire parts in there. It's funny because like it's in retrospect, I'm like that. It just screams Jason.
It totally does. You can see the trajectory of where you've become, what you've come to now with Moonbladder and snares and stuff. This is the origin story. You know?
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's. It like I said, it just reeks of me. I'm pretty stoked to hear that again. Like I mean, there are some moments, and the subject matter is about a girl I was into, and that's like kind of cringy, but I'm happy with it.
What was the lyrics about? Like, what were you saying?
Well, so this is a weird story. So when I was in high school, I became pen pals with this girl named Rain. And she was in San Diego. I was in Montana. And we had like this long distance kind of like relationship, I guess. And it was very,
Would you ever call her, or was like photos?
Yeah.
And
we talked on the phone all the time.
Okay,
We sent tapes back and forth.
Wow.
The plan was to basically meet up at some point. The plan was for me to go to San Diego and meet up with her. I mean, we had this like flirtatious ongoing relationship for, I want to say 6 years,
Jeez.
maybe.
Wow.
I was in Montana, moved to Minneapolis. It was at its height in Minneapolis. And then by the time I moved to Portland, I was like, this is just never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started writing the song and these lyrics about her and like drowning in rain. Like I was drowning in rain, and about me trying to like just be like, what is this? Like neither one of us has taken a step to even meet. I've like still never met her to this day.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
And right at
Do you remember like wanting to, or trying to, or talking about it with her, or like
trying to meet her, or
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
God. I mean, we would we would be on the phone for hours. We would, you know, it was like
What was the problem then? What was the problem?
youth and money, you know,
Yeah.
and like
Sure.
and just and intimidation too. It's like, you know, she's like, come down to San Diego, and I'm like, I would love to, but like I'd never been to the West Coast.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'd never traveled that much. I didn't have any money. I was making $4.25 an hour at a book warehouse, you know.
Yeah.
So it just was one of those things, and then it just got to this point where I was like, I have to either do something about this or stop it. And this was just kind of a song about me going through that process. And
Wow.
in the meantime, like while I was working through this is when I met my wife to be Erin. So I was working out all this stuff, and then Erin came into my life like directly after, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, it's just kind of a weird story. It's like I can never say that we were in a relationship because we never even met, but we were in a relationship in a way because it was like this long distance thing for.
Did she try to
years.
keep contacting you, or how did it end?
I honestly don't really remember how it ended.
Yeah.
I think we both just kind of got tired of it and moved on. But
yeah.
When Agalloch was touring, we played in San Diego, and I was like, I should reach out. I should at least meet her, you know, at some point. And I reached out, and she ended up being out of town.
Damn.
So we've still never met, but we're friends on Facebook, and I see her pop up now and then. We don't talk
And
anymore.
she get married and have kids and stuff?
Yeah,
or?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it was just very much like a snapshot of that time in my life. You know, I was like, I'd finally made it to Portland after being in Minneapolis for so many years and hating Minneapolis, and I'm in this spot where I'm excited about Agalloch. I'm excited about Sculptured. This is before Pale Folklore had come out. This is, you know, when just the first Sculptured record was out. It was me really trying to focus on music, really trying to get my footing with that, having no idea what the future holds, was working a shitty job and just trying to figure out where I was in this world. And
that's cool that you have, like, you know, this is deeper than like having a photograph from that era or something. It's cool that you have like a musical, you know, something from your heart.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
it's really cool.
Yeah. And the samples.
Yeah. What are those from?
That is Jules' poetry book on tape.
No way.
Yeah.
Jules' poetry book.
Because I was obsessed with Jewel for years. I was obsessed with Jewel.
At that, because she was like this natural girl from Alaska.
Yeah, she was kind of like my dream girl. She had the fucked up teeth. She was from the mountains.
She lived in a van with her mom.
When I was living in Minneapolis, I was so pissed that I wasn't around mountains anymore that I just like fetishized like these like mountain girls, you know? And so like Alaska, the fucked up teeth, and she's totally my type, like blonde hair, all that stuff. And then when I was living in Minneapolis, I worked at a bookstore, a book warehouse, and she released a poetry book, and they had like her poetry book on CD. And so I got that, and I was like, I wanted just some kind of samples. And I wanted like a female voice in there because it's all about me trying to get over this girl.
Yeah.
And so I put it in there, and it's like, not to pat myself on the back, but I think it worked really well, especially at the end where I wish my fingers could touch or something like that. And I don't want to be loving in vain or something like that. It's like, this is exactly what the song was about. And
nice.
I think it worked really well.
Did you remember like listening through that thing a few times and trying to find the best?
I mean, God, that was so long ago.
You must know about her life a lot.
Well, it's all just poetry, you know. So it's not about
it's poetry. Yeah,
it's not about her necessarily, but
that's true. Nice.
Andreas from The End Records, he used to be my webmaster at that point in time. He made a Nothing website, and he did this weird photo of Jewel that he like modified and fucked up into this weird black and white like surreal image, and that was the splash page on my website.
Amazing.
In 1997 for Nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Weird. Man, that was a trip to listen to that again.
Pretty cool snapshot. And yeah, like I said, I feel like it's kind of your origin story for like what you're creating now, and it helped build some kind of confidence and into what you're doing now. It's pretty cool, man.
For sure. I can definitely hear Moonbladder in there and snares and the pounding pianos and the noise and the start and stop stuff. But yeah, I'm actually pretty pleased with that one.
Oh, I'm so glad you shared. That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me dive into that. And again, if people want to hear that, it is on my Bandcamp, jwalton.bandcamp.com.
Support.
Yeah, support. I'm going to be rich after. People are going to be like, oh my God, I can buy this.
Dude.
It says you can buy it for $3. That seems high.
Yeah, that's a little high, bro.
Yeah, Jesus. Okay.
I put my whole Traveler's Rest albums up there for $1.
$1? Yeah, I'll have to change that. All right. Oh man. Yeah. We'll have to do that with one of your.
Sure. Yeah, I've got a bunch
point.
of tapes. I gotta dig them out. I don't have anything.
Oh yeah, you got to do.
I do have I have a tape of the song that my friend James and I played at my high school talent show.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Shit like that is great.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Yeah, it's victim stuff. You have any victims that you're actually on that you recorded?
Yeah, I've got their tape, Resin 67 Sessions. Yeah, we
let's
could
do
listen
it.
to that, dude.
Let's do it.
We covered a Slayer song. We could do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I wish
Dude, those songs are great. Those are on Bandcamp, so we could listen to that.
I really wish that we had some kind of recordings of the Sculptured rehearsals when we were playing together.
Yeah, my mom's garage.
Yeah.
That awesome.
Yeah. For people that don't know, when I first moved out here, Nick and I were jamming in Sculptured together in your mom's garage. That was 97.
Right. I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Don through his zine. He liked Infernal Archives, yeah.
Yeah.
He liked Victims, which is the band I was in briefly. And so, yeah, we became friends. And then he had later worked at Tower, oddly enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew him before that anyway, but.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Victims at some point.
Okay, anytime.
All right, man. Thanks so much for that.
Right.
That was great.
Yeah.
All right. Ciao.
Bye.
An Earth in Sound production.